And I am more than happy to introduce you the first speaker, Brian Kobilka. It's really a great pleasure to have him for several reasons. I learned plenty of things about him and his life during the couple of days. And actually, it's really not only scientifically, but also as a life. It's really extraordinary and a really role model for everybody. Brian was born in 1955 in a little place in Minnesota, and actually he already started working at his very young age. His father ran a bakery, and at that bakery I think had some Hungarian backgrounds as well. You can really see the Hungarian funk as well on the table. I haven't asked yet Brian where his father learned the Hungarian funk, but he started working there, and he learned what does it mean to build up really something. And this age is definitely had lots of influence on his life. But from his early ages, he wanted challenges. And this is the other message from his life I can pass you. Actually, when he was around 14, he had a neighbor who was a really excellent pediatrician whose son was one of his best friends. And at the age of 14, he decided, why not to have challenges? Here is just a national park with 1,500 miles. Let's bike around with his friends together, with only a bike, with only sleep bags. So they started for going around with a bike. They actually were cycling 100 miles every day to look at the nature and find things. And during any kind of challenges, also finding solutions is always important, because finding problems, it's easy. Finding solution, it could be difficult, but he can show his life career very good practicality and also simplicity. So during the day, you can imagine you are cycling a lot, 100 miles from one town, you are exhausted. What you need to find? You need to find a place to sleep. So it's every night they had a challenge to find a place to sleep. Sometimes they find schools, sometimes they find churches, sometimes private homes, but if none of were available, they were sleeping in a jail cells for the night, not to stay outside in the sleeping bags. So during his undergraduate years, it was really very rich as well, and this was the time when he had his first experience in a group of 4 students where he could meet his wife, also who is also an excellent scientist. Besides microbiologist, she also finished the medical university, and they have been working together until this time. And after the undergraduate years, he went to work at the university, and first the Duke University, and after joined the laboratory of Robert Leszkowicz, and after moved to Stanford University. And if we look at his fields of research, his discoveries also changed completely our understanding of the G protein-coupled receptors. And if you look at the current medicine, the current pharmaceutical company, over 50% of the drugs actually acting, either stimulating, inhibiting, or neutralizing those receptors he actually discovered in his labs. So if you just would like to understand the significance of his discovery, if you became to be a medical doctor, doesn't matter whether you can be a cardiologist, a gastroenterologist, an intensive care specialist, a gynecologist, psychiatrist, doesn't matter. These drugs and channels are definitely used. So at that time, there were no artificial intelligence, so the Nobel committee had to find out what is the discovery. It was not difficult. Today, if I used artificial intelligence, it would be much easier, because if you actually just put together these words, it's easily find out who is responsible actually for the acting place of these drugs. So it's not surprising that in 2012, Brian Kobilka was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry with Robert Leszkowicz for discovering the G protein-coupled receptors. So currently, he is extremely active, and I'm really unbelievable, feel honor and pleasure to to his very valuable time. He actually had still running the receptor structure studies, intracellular trafficking, and also understanding of the relevance of adrenergic receptors. So he also received plenty of other prizes. I am not going through all of that, but you can see that not only the Nobel Prize was the one he received in his actual lives. So being a scientist, he always considered that two things which he enjoyed most. One of them is seeing something first, so for the discovery, and the other is about meeting students. So I really, really consider, as I mentioned, a great honor and an exceptional gift that he is with us, and really thank you for your incredible, valuable time. So thank you, Brian, to come to Hungary. Thank you, Brian, to come to see so many students, and I'm more than happy to welcome you and ask you to deliver your lecture today.